October 26, 2013. This is today's sunspot summary. Notice 1875, Beta Gamma Delta. 1882, Beta Gamma Delta. Now, 82 is where we got the 2X flares. 1877 is Beta Gamma. Still a large sunspot. It's one worth watching. We'll look at 1882 there. That's going to be turning Earth facing this week. We've got 1877, 1875 right there. Now, just below 1877 is where we had the filament eruption, and it was extremely strong. Now, on this chart, you're seeing that one side we had a flare, the other the eruption. Now, the eruption is going north, or up towards the air there. Now, I went over and got the chart for Ison that doesn't show the flares. Notice the date, both on the 29th. It's a few hours apart. But Ison is in a straight line between Mars and the Earth. So you can see if you transcribe that information over to the left chart, Ison's going to be at the tip of that pink arrow as that wave hits it. So on the night of the 29th up through the 30th, there should be, if anybody's got their telescopes on this, on Ison, it will be very interesting to see if there's a sudden brightening or does it break it apart. That's a lot of energy, guys. Look how much energy comes off the sun. There's Mercury. Look at that. It looks like it almost took the atmosphere off Mercury. It was so strong. But it come off in that ball of energy. See that? That's very unusual. I've seen a lot of these in the last few years. Never one that maintains that much in that ball. But it rolled off the sun, and I'll show you on SDO in just a moment. This is SOHO, Earth-facing images. Watch this. Notice the date, 26th. There. Out the bottom, it's a lot of energy, and you can see right there, that's that dot that was showing up on stereo. And look at the tail of energy coming off. It's amazing image. Back that up. But again, all of this affects the Earth, every bit of it. Even though it's a glancing blow just in front of it, all of the ACE satellites picked up the uptick in electrons and protons. This is another Earth-facing look from LASCO C3. Again, you can see just in the center of that ball of energy. Now, there's the filament that left under the sunspot right there. And we'll pull it up and stop it, and you'll see that ball of energy. But coming around the sun, not only do you have the 1882, but you've got one behind it that you see erupting. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to pull it out slow. You'll see it right there. See that circle as it wrapped out like a whip? And it maintained that circle of energy, and that's what we're seeing next to Mercury on the stereo satellites. A lot of activity, guys. And that is the side of the sun that Ison is coming from. If you're Earth-facing, it's coming to the right from Mars. Look at that. Again, I'm going to let it come out. And on the 29th, as it passes through this flare, that's when it starts to die below the ecliptic of the inner solar system. The northern hemisphere will not be able to see much of Ison until the 28th. Now, the southern hemisphere may get some good shots. Again, there's activity all the way around the sun. Another look from SDO, which is Earth-facing also, guys. It's an overlay of 3 cameras. You can see where the energy bands are in dark brown, and in the bottom, that was where the filament erupted. All it takes is for one of these filaments to touch one of these powerful sunspots, and this is what you get. Now, notice yesterday were the 2X flares, coronal mass ejection and a solar flare, 2 different things. Both can be just as devastating. This is the flare tracker with Ison. showing you again how it's going to be crossing the orbit of Earth as it's diving below the ecliptic. Again, in the yellow dot just in front of the sun was where you saw Mercury get blasted by that CME. These are our two storms. Now, Francisco has about faded out. It's a lot of rain. You see there, Leukemia to the right. It's a Category 1 storm. I think winds are at 80 miles an hour. Don't have any reports. The only thing they've been talking about Japan is, on the news today, is that the quake tsunami report was called off. It wasn't bad, and that they have passed the law that the Prime Minister of Japan wanted. It says the Cabinet of Prime Minister Abe on Friday approved the bill to impose tougher penalties on civil servants, lawmakers, and others who leak national secrets. What this, you can pause this and read it, guys. What it's about is people are talking about Fukushima, Russia. Many countries have stopped fish imports. That's what all that's about, to silence the information going to the world about the most dangerous thing on Earth. Kind of sucks. This is the newest image of Ison, guys. Now, it's getting larger and it's getting brighter. I'm watching some of Bruce Gary's information over there. I mean, it had a brief brightening and then it seemed to dim back down. But again, on the 29th is a time to be watching this through that night. So in the next few days, if you guys that are watching it with telescopes, and now people are catching it with zoom cameras, things like that, it's going to be the last chance. It's getting lower on the horizon. So heads up, guys, be safe.